I don't want to do either of those things.
Yeah, but if you had to, though. We set the scene, we have a choice. We must decide on the correct answer. I'm Kyle.
And I'm the man formerly known as Nathan.
And this is If You Had To, though. You're formerly known as Nathan.
After my recent legal difficulties, I've had to adopt a new identity, Carl. One I can't possibly tell you, because then you'd know.
I mean, you are leaving.
I am. I've killed all the orphans I can kill. It's time for me to start anew.
The lore of the show that is Basingstoke will be no more.
No.
We will speak of it no more.
I'm now moving to a secret location.
It's safe to say you're moving to a field.
Yes, and it possibly connected to Peter.
So make of that what you will.
In Shire Hamp. They'll never work out this code, Kyle. It's too cunning.
It's too cunning. You are too cunning. You've evaded the police a long time. I mean, it's been a good few months now. Despite
the fact that, as we've established, I have a blog called The Most Suspicious Looking Man in Basingstoke. Every photograph taken by everyone in Basingstoke, everyone's Instagram account, I am in the background looking suspicious. I've photobombed everyone. Weddings, funerals, bachelor parties, bar mitzvahs.
So what's going to be your last act before you leave Basingstoke for good? How are you going to leave in a blaze of glory?
It has to be a blaze of glory, yes. I don't know. I think I'm going to... Well, yes, I think it has to be a literal blaze of glory. I think without me, this town has no more existence to live.
Yeah, there's no reason for that town to exist without you there.
Exactly. It's for the greater good, Kyle.
Burn it to the ground.
That is the plan. I will cover the entire city in flammable liquids like, say, gelatine.
Gelatine?
Yes.
Glycerin? Gasoline?
Shampoo. I'll pour shampoo over the entire... As everyone knows, shampoo it catches fire like an instant. Anywhere near a heat source.
I mean, is that true?
Yes, everything I say is true, Carl. Have you forgotten? Everything we say in this podcast is 100% accurate and true.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that. So yeah, fact number 1 for the episode, shampoo is highly flammable. And so after you've covered all of Basingstoke in shampoo...
And every single person, I'm running around pouring shampoo over every single person.
And they're like, oh, it's just crazy old Nathan from the website.
Smearing it into their hair all over the face, putting my hands all over them, which people absolutely love you doing, especially in this day and age.
Yeah. I mean, the plus side is everyone has glorious hair now.
They do. Absolutely amazing. Shiny, smooth, luxurious.
Yeah, they all look like they've just come out of a shampoo advert.
Healthy looking, shiny hair.
And then as you're driving out of town, you light a cigar, throw the match out the car window, and set the entire town ablaze.
To the theme of A Blaze of Glory.
Exactly. So the premise of this show is that we create scenarios for each other, resulting in 2 possible outcomes. We'll discuss each outcome's pros and cons and decide definitively on the correct answer.
Exactly. 100% accurate scientifically, or my name is not Nathan. It's not Nathan.
It's not Nathan anymore, no. You've changed it.
I've changed it to Nathan. I've just switched Nathan around. It's the opposite. They'll never see through this.
So Nathan.
Nathan!
So Nathan, you're a big fan of the Ponder dating app, is that correct to say?
Oh, absolutely.
You've been on the app for years trying to find love with absolutely anyone.
Yes, I have no standards whatsoever.
Literally, you've been swiping. What way is it you swipe when you like the person? Is it left or right?
Diagonally.
You've been swiping diagonally, just constantly. It doesn't matter who comes up. You're not even looking at your phone. You're just constantly swiping all day, every day, hoping that anyone is going to say yes back.
Getting painfully real, Kyle.
But finally, Nathan, this week, you got 2 responses.
Oh, wow. Just in time for me to leave the town and destroy it in a giant fire.
If this goes well, you could take one of them with you to the field.
That's the perfect chat-up line.
Yeah.
I'll tell them everyone else is going to die. Your only chance to live is to go out with me. And as everyone knows, that's the best chat-up line.
If you want to live, come with me. Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger said it best.
Fact number 3, kids. If you feel like there's a woman that you're interested in and you're not sure she's interested in you, threaten to murder her.
Well, threaten to murder her entire town and family. Not her specifically.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. What an idiot I am. It doesn't work unless you threaten an entire town.
You don't want to threaten her specifically, just everything around her.
Threatening to murder someone in particular, that's morally wrong. But when you threaten to murder an entire town, that moral wrongness gets stretched out like a rubber band.
So you've been on this app for years and never had a response, but luckily, a miracle, you've got these 2 responses on the very same day, and they both send you a message, but both of them want to go on a date on the exact same day.
Oh no!
What are the odds? The exact same time as well, 7 p.m, both of them.
And there's no possibility of changing it. As you know, whenever you set a date with someone, if you ask to change it, even by half an hour, it's over. It's ruined.
Yeah, you're not going to get that date. So you definitely want to see them both, and this is your big chance for love. You know, either of these 2 people could be your dream date.
Either one of these could be the girl I've been dreaming of. A girl willing to spend time with me.
So basically, what you're going to have to do is do that thing that they do in sitcoms.
So I'm going to need to set the date with the 2 different women in the same restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, and then sort of like have it in 2 different areas of the restaurant so that they don't see this. And you'll basically have to be going, I just need to pop to the toilet, and then you'll go to the second date.
I just need to make a phone call.
Yeah, and you just have to keep making excuses all night to switch between and go to these 2 different dates. Maybe you could book like 2 restaurants next to each other. You just have to make sure you're sitting at a table where they can't see you exiting the front door.
I know. I will so smoothly transition from one restaurant. Somehow it will be a restaurant where there's a window separating the 2 buildings, and I'm going to smoothly transition from one restaurant to the other by leaping out of the chair, smashing through a window into the other restaurant. Like, I just need to sort something out very quickly. I'll be right back. Smash.
You just constantly need the toilet all night. They just think you've got a really small bladder. But the plus side of this is you get 2 meals. If you do get 2 restaurants next to each other, you could have like pizza and Chinese, or two meals that you really enjoy, and you can have both. You don't have to compromise.
Ooh, I could have Italian and Chinese.
So you book the 2 restaurants, and you turn up at the first one. You go in and you meet this woman, and you find out that because you haven't looked at the pictures because you've swiped so many times, you don't know who you.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
You were literally all day, every day, just swiping. You didn't even look at your phone. It was like while you were at work, you were swiping away whilst talking on the phone. You weren't.
It does get a little uncomfortable when I accidentally swipe yes on family members that happen to be on Ponder.
Yeah. That has been brought up at Christmas dinner for you a few times, hasn't it?
Especially when my automatic reply to anyone that matches with me is, "Hey babe, want to get down and dirty?"
Hey hot stuff. Can't wait to see you naked, girl.
I find you specifically, and I've got on my computer an app that automatically puts in their name, so it makes it look like I'm actually talking to them.
Wow.
I want you specifically to be naked.
And a lot of your family members are on that app.
Oh, every single one of them.
Every single one.
All my family are whores.
So anyway, you turn up at the first restaurant, the Chinese restaurant, and you see this woman, and she looks like a supermodel. She is absolutely gorgeous, like the woman of your dreams. You think,
Ooh.
Yes, I have hit the jackpot here. The snooty waiter comes over. Do they have snooty waiters in Chinese restaurants? Not sure.
They have snooty waiters everywhere, Kyle.
I suppose. It's not a restaurant if they're not snooty. So you're really happy. You've seen this beautiful woman. You've been shown to a table with her. So you sit down at this table with this woman, and immediately she starts picking her nose. And she picks her nose, she eats it, she picks her nose again, offers you some. And then she farts really loudly, and it stinks. It is rotten.
So far, so good. It sounds like it's working out so well.
And she complains because you haven't brought her any flowers, chocolates.
Oh, I was happy up until that point. I mean, she was the most seductive woman in the world, doing all those sexy, seductive things every man loves a woman to do. Picking her nose, farting, belching, spitting in the face of the waiter, spitting all over me when she talks. Now she's actually complaining about me, the most perfect man in the world. I won't take this. I mean, I showered and everything. I went to loads of effort.
Oh yeah, she tells you that your clothes look hideous. She says, why aren't you trying harder? She's a real bitch. She's not a nice person at all. She's really demanding. She lets you know that when you do get together, because she's still into you for some reason, even after all these complaints that she's giving you, she's still like, yeah, when we're together, you're going to be paying for everything for me, and you're basically going to do everything for me, and I'm going to quit work, and you can be my sort of manservant boyfriend.
This isn't sounding great so far. I mean,
no?
I'm very cheap. I mean, as we've established, Carl, I'm the richest man in the world, but I'm very cheap, and I hate doing things. So I don't like this scenario.
So you think that, and you think, oh, I'll just excuse myself. You say, oh, I'm just going to nip to the toilet.
Yeah, I do the, like we were saying, I seamlessly and subtly jump out of the chair, run backwards through the door, stumbling over 5 tables, tripping over, interrupting a wedding proposal, slapping an old woman in the face accidentally. You know, the normal things people do when they try and leave a situation in a smooth manner.
Exactly. So you turn up at the second place, the Italian place, and there's a snooty Italian waiter there, and he takes you to your table. So this second date, you see her, and she appears to be a troll. She's got green skin.
Does she have big, colourful hair?
Big, colourful ginger hair with bits in it.
What kind of bits?
Oh, you know, little bits of food, little bugs. She's completely hideous. She's got moles, spots, and freckles, but not the nice kind of freckles.
She's got freckles on her moles.
Yeah, exactly. She'd give Quasimodo a run for his money.
Her mole is so big that the hair on her mole is a full beard worth of hair.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, yeah, she definitely has a moustache. So anyway, you meet this woman, and she's made you a nice tray of cookies.
Ooh.
And you sit down, and she turns out to be one of the nicest women you've ever met. She's this really nice woman, and you have a lot in common, you find out. You both enjoy puppies and orphans to the same extent.
Which I bring up into the conversation just seamlessly, you know, like, so what are your hobbies? Do you like any sports? Do you like killing orphans? I just slip it in there so quick, you barely even notice.
But as she's answering, she's like, yeah, I like tennis. Yeah, I like killing orphans. Yeah.
We both, when she says, yes, I do love killing orphans, we both look at each other like, oh, I thought I was the only one.
And you're both into art. She's an artist too.
He showed me a painting on her phone that she painted with the blood of an orphan, and it was absolutely beautiful, Kyle.
It brought tears to the orphan's eyes as she was dipping the paintbrush into their open wound. So basically, you've met these 2 women. One of them is stunningly beautiful, like a supermodel.
Legs that like go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Oh yeah, just think of the most beautiful woman you've ever met. Times it by 10.
So she looks a lot like you, Carl.
Exactly. But she's obnoxious, she's mean,
she acts a lot like you as well, Kyle.
Yeah.
The perfect woman.
She's a money grabber. She's just a horrible, horrible person. Whereas the other woman, I should probably tell you their names, shouldn't I?
Women have names, Kyle?
The hot supermodel type woman is called Kelly Bitchmas. And the troll-like woman is Betty Nice Socks.
Oh, I do love some nice socks, I gotta tell you.
You know that you might never find love again. People might never respond to you ever again on the Ponder app.
I know, it's been 29 years. I was on Ponder before the internet even existed. I was just going around swiping on the faces of women.
Yeah, they don't like that.
They really don't.
Just like, oh, I swipe you, and you just run your hand across their face. You are desperate for love, and one of these women has got to be it. One of these women has got to be your soulmate. So you've got to pick one of them, but which one are you going to pick, Nathan?
That is a tricky one, Carl, because you're essentially making me choose between beauty. You're making me choose between outer beauty and inner beauty.
A good way of putting it.
I say I'm not just a pretty in the right light face.
So yeah, these are your two options. Do you want Kelly Bitchmas, the beautiful woman who's an awful person, or Betty Nice Socks, who is a hideous troll woman but is the nicest, kindest person you've ever met?
Oh, that is a tricky one. I mean, Kelly Bitchmas, whew, silky, shiny skin, long hair, beautiful, sexy eyebrows, what every man goes for, and like I said, legs that go on forever. And that, she's wearing a nice tight skirt, long, shiny legs.
Oh yeah, she looks immaculate.
She's wearing glasses, but you can tell she doesn't actually need to wear glasses. She just wears them to look like a smart secretary.
Exactly, which is one of your turn-ons, and she fits every bill perfectly. But she's awful. She's an awful, awful person.
She is absolutely awful, horrendous. Within 30 seconds of meeting her, she tells me about how she thinks JFK was killed by the Pope and how the Illuminati is secretly run by the Irish.
Yeah. She does have crazy conspiracy theories as well, yeah.
She thinks the world is run by a cabal of leprechauns.
She assures you that she's got proof that the world is actually flat.
Yeah, that was like the first line when we sat down. Like, hi, I'm Kelly. The world is flat. What's your name?
I don't think she even asked you your name. She was that rude. She's just like, you were like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, whatever.
And I could actually tell she had another date lined up. She was actually dating, like I'm dating two women, but I'm dating two women because I have no choice. There was like the entire restaurant is filled with men that she's dating.
They're all just lined up.
Exactly. But each one of them looks beaten and rejected. She's destroyed all of their self-worth. One's just openly weeping in the corner. The other's holding a cross, kissing it, speaking in Latin.
Rocking backwards and forwards. Would you be able to live with someone like that? Like, obviously, you get that gorgeous person.
Yeah, I get the pleasure of looking at her, but the things she says and does, and she treats me horribly. She demeans me, makes me feel ugly and fat.
Oh, she tells you all the time. She tells you you're ugly, you're fat.
Want some more food, fatty fat? And she picks it up, forces it into my mouth. Piggy wants to go oink oink.
Yeah. I mean, for some people, that they would love that, but not you.
I mean, yeah, actually, with as attractive as she is, that might make that worth it. That's actually one good thing she does. Everything else she does is bad. She times me when I go to the toilet with the countdown music. She plays that on her phone.
Yeah, you have to have a specific time limit to do things.
And when I'm in the shower, she goes in and
turns on the hot tap so that it all goes cold for you, or super hot for you.
Well, I was also going to say she uses the bathroom for other bathroom-related purposes.
Oh yeah, she takes a massive dump while you're in the shower. She stinks the place out.
I love how I was trying to be delicate and avoiding the thing. You're like, yeah, she shits all over the place.
All up the walls.
It goes to the ceiling. It's actually my shower has an open top. It actually drips over onto my head. So as I'm in the shower scrubbing my face, it gets into my hair and I start scrubbing it and wiping it into myself. Yeah, that's not great. And so I go to work, basically with poo scented shampoo. So my hair has a nice smell to it. I've basically been manuring. Is that a term?
I
When you use
guess.
manure to feed the ground. I don't know what, like, manure does something for farming. I can't remember what. You throw a bunch. Basically, if you throw a bunch of shit over some grass, it helps farmers somehow. That's another fact, kids.
A fact for everyone: grass loves eating shit.
Exactly.
True fact for all of you out there to add to your book.
Exactly. A perfect fact explained perfectly, like all our facts.
So yeah, that would be a living hell, but you get to see and on the odd occasion you may get to sleep with her if she's feeling generous.
Yes. Once a month, but that once a month is a spectacular moment for a good couple of minutes, and then she starts berating me again and tells me how terrible I was and how I don't know what I'm doing. And
she makes you take lessons. Lessons on how to pleasure a woman.
She gets her ex to teach me, this giant muscular man who makes me feel inferior in every possible way.
I mean, he teaches you by showing you. He basically sleeps with your new girlfriend and says, "This is how you should be doing it, mate, okay?"
Watch carefully now.
And you can tell she's having a much better time with him.
He's actually quite a nice bloke, to be honest. He's actually quite informative and educational. He's explaining everything in quite good detail. He's a good teacher.
Oh, he's a good man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's lovely. He is. She's pretty. It's just her that's awful. She's pretty awful to him. In fact, he's only doing all of this because she kidnapped his wife and tied her to a train track.
Yes, whilst twiddling a metaphorical moustache.
Yeah, but I mean, she definitely doesn't have a moustache because he's a beautiful woman, and
yeah, completely smooth all over.
Exactly. In fact, I know for a fact she's completely smooth all over because once a week I have to not wax her, but use tweezers. I have to use tweezers to take out every single hair on her body everywhere.
Yeah, and she expects a massage every morning as well.
Which is kind of nice because, again, she's an attractive woman, so massaging her is nice.
The entire time she's telling you how awful it is and how her ex always did a better massage and how you're inferior and you're nothing, you're a pathetic little man.
Sorry, Kyle, are you still telling me what she says, or you just started telling me how you feel?
She tells you how you need to up your game on the podcast, get some real jokes in there. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, that's one scenario.
Physically, it sounds nice. Emotionally and mentally, it sounds exhausting.
She brings you to your knees. You are crying most nights, and then she laughs at you for that. So that's option number one. Option number two, you've got this hideous troll-like woman, and she's very unattractive. Like, think female Shrek.
She's got jaundiced skin. And she's always clammy and sweaty. Like we said, we've got moles and freckles and lumps and bumps and
big white heads on her back.
Yeah, and patches of hair missing of her giant fussy ginger hair.
But she's the loveliest person you'll ever meet.
She's got a hairier chest than me, and I'm a real man's man.
Yeah, whereas Kelly Bitchmas is completely smooth all over, Betty Nice Socks is quite hairy all over. But she's such a lovely person. I mean, she'll bake you cookies every day if you want them.
Like you said when we first met, we went to the restaurant, but actually we met just outside the restaurant, and she said, "Oh, it's such a nice day. Let's not go to a restaurant. Let's go to this park and have a picnic." And she took out the food that she'd made me on this little picnic blanket that she set down for me, and she started playing some music in the background. In fact, no, she had a harp that she was playing while we were sitting. And she was asking me about how I was, how my day had been, what my interests are.
During the date, she asked only questions about you. She was constantly asking about your likes, interests. She wanted to know you intimately. She cared so much about getting to know you and the person you are. Whereas, obviously, Kelly only talked about herself and how awesome she is.
Yes, I mean, absolutely, Kelly. I have to I have to compliment her at least once every 30 seconds, otherwise she starts having a go at me. I mean, she has a go at me anyway, but she really lays into me if I'm not constantly complimenting her. Like, for example, when I'm having a shower and she's painting the walls with her feces, I have to tell her how beautiful it smells and how immaculate and amazing it is and what an amazing shitter she is.
Whereas if you're with Betty, she tells you how awesome you are all the time. She's, oh, you're such a great guy, Nathan. That piece of artwork you did today is so good. We
talk about my childhood, and I heal from all my childhood problems, and she just listens to me talk and talk and talk. And we that date we just talk for hours and hours and hours. I obviously have to keep running away to go to the bathroom to go back to my date with Kelly, but she never has a go at me about that. She doesn't. No. She just takes it on my word that I just need to keep going to the toilet. For all she knows, I have a bladder problem, and she never mentions anything about it.
No.
Whereas Kelly keeps telling me, what's wrong with your tiny little bladder, tiny little half man? Is your bladder as small as your tiny little penis, your tiny little...
So yeah, you've got to decide, Nathan. Who would you rather spend the rest of your life with? They're both willing to spend the rest of their lives with you.
Betty is so lovely.
Yeah.
Betty is absolutely lovely, and we get on so well, and we talk about so much. We have deep philosophical conversations about whether or not cows have teeth. She teaches me things about the world that I never knew, like cows. Like, yes, cows do have teeth. If this was just a phone conversation, it would be amazing. But looking at her, she doesn't smell great either. Flies are spinning around her, and I know she bathes regularly, but she tells me it's just a glandular condition.
Would you be able to put up with her awful looks for the niceness that is inside?
Or could I put up with Kelly's horribleness for the beauty and sexiness of her looks, and how nice she smells, and the silky smoothness of her voice? Betty's voice is a bit rough, but she's such a sweet, lovely lady, but she's got a bit of a rough, like she smokes 60 a day, but she's never smoked a day in her life.
She wouldn't dare.
She's very healthy. She's always exercising. She cooks the best free range. She's vegetarian but not vegan, and she's not judgmental about it, but she opens me up to new healthier choices in food and diet, whereas Kelly eats exclusively processed fatty foods but never puts on a pound.
No, she loves Spam.
Oh god, she loves Spam so much.
It's her favourite. Like, her entire cupboards are stocked with Spam.
It's slightly erotic when she eats Spam, which again, because she's so attractive, is nice to see, but doesn't smell so great.
It smells
awful. She's smearing Spam all over her naked body, which is nice for a little bit, and then it's really not nice.
Which she makes you eat off, and it's just disgusting. It's just this horrible spammy taste.
It's a mixed feeling. It is disgusting, but because she's so attractive, I'm excited by it, and I hate myself.
Yeah.
I hate myself for liking it, and I feel cheap and dirty and used.
You sort of gain this complex where any time you see a tin of Spam in the supermarket, you become instantly aroused. It's very confusing.
Which makes it very difficult to go shopping, honestly. I'm in the shop, I'm helping an old lady reach a tin of Spam from the top shelf, and suddenly she trips over something that you shouldn't be able to trip over in public. I'm going to leave it at that. It is a powerful vision.
So, Nathan, we need a decision. Kelly Bitchmas, Betty Nice Socks. Who are you going for?
Oh, it's so tricky. I mean, both of them have such good points. Both of them would make me happy in two completely different ways. With Betty, it would be emotional, spiritual happiness. Kelly, it would be purely physical happiness, pure animal happiness. But they would also both make me feel uncomfortable in ways. With Betty, it would be physical discomfort because she's so hairy, she's very itchy. It's even giving her a hug, like, it scratches against my skin. It's very rough, and I have rashes and scratches all over me because she's got very long, sharp fingernails. Again, it's not her fault. She trims them every day, but they just grow back immediately. But as Kelly, she just destroys my self-worth every single day and makes me beg for more.
Yeah, you're contractually obliged.
Whenever I'm angry at her or annoyed at her, whenever I'm annoyed at her and we're having an argument, I can never keep the argument going because she suddenly starts seducing me with her looks. And the second I give in, she starts taking the mick out of me and demeaning me for giving in. But then I get angry and then she defuses me again. And it's just a cycle of seduction and abuse. And my mind boggles. You never know where you are with Kelly. Whereas with Betty, every day is a pleasure.
Still stalling.
I am really stalling now. I honestly think I'm going to have to go with the nice socks.
You're going to go for Betty Nice Socks, the lovely but hideous troll woman.
I mean, I'm good looking enough for both of us. So every couple is a maximum potential of attractiveness that a couple has together, and I alone reached that criteria. So between me and Kelly, we were too attractive. We were making other people feel bad. Whereas me and Betty, we average it out. And I think I can look past her looks because everything else about her is lovely and sweet, and we have such a good time, and we talk about so many things, and she loves killing orphans, she loves playing Mario Kart, she loves drowning puppies, she loves painting, all the normal things, all the things like partners do together.
Well, there, I'm happy with that, and I think that everyone at home knows that you always go for inner beauty. That's a beautiful message.
I think the rest of my weekend is planned out. I'm going to be shaving Betty, and we're going to be very happy together. After a while, I don't even notice it. The smell of cookies, warm-baked cookies. She's always got cookies on her, so the smell overpowers it.
A small price to pay for true love.
For cookies. I mean, yes, true love.
So, Nathan, do you have a story for me?
Well, I mean, as you know, Carl, you've had a pretty laid-back week. It's been pretty uneventful. You've only befriended one magical unicorn and one completely normal, boring unicorn. The one thing that happened to you that was a little unusual was you did fall down a manhole while doing an Irish jig in the streets.
Yes, I did, yeah.
I mean, like classic Carl, you're always just breaking into a jig, and there just happens to be someone playing Irish music in the background, like there always is in every street in Britain. And you just didn't notice that manhole there, that like they were cleaning the manhole covers, the monthly clean that they do. You were so swept up in the rhythm you didn't even notice.
Didn't even notice that gaping hole in the road.
So yes, you fell down a manhole, and you fell in. You know where you fell into, Kyle?
Where did I fall into?
Well, the sewers, obviously, you idiot. You absolute moron. I mean, God, Kyle.
I mean, the last time you fell into a hole, you ended up in a magical wonderland. But no, I fall into shit.
That seems about right to me.
I fall into a bunch of used condoms, shit and piss. Lovely.
So you fell into the sewers. You got swept up in a passageway of let's generously call it somewhat horrible, icky things, or SHIT for short. When suddenly you came across the mysterious underground kingdom of the crocodile men.
Ooh.
Yes. Ooh. That's exactly how you'd respond to a bunch of walking, talking crocodiles.
I mean, to be honest, on our adventures, Nathan, I probably wouldn't have much of a reaction at all. But look.
Actually, that's right. Yeah, at this point, we're kind of nonchalant to all these things, aren't we? Your aliens are abducting me again. It's the third time this week. But you're not with the arse-faced Martians from another planet. You're with the crocodile men from this planet. You meet their leader, the wise ancient one, filled with wisdom. He's been there he's centuries old. He's got a long, thick, mysterious beard, a smooth, dramatic voice. He appears in smoke through the fog, and you hear him, and they bellow his name, Derek.
Derek, yeah.
Derek did not take kindly to you, an outsider in his kingdom.
Oh, that's a surprise.
I can't blame him, Kyle. You're an outsider. They're a very private civilization. Also, you were bringing a nasty smell with you into their sewer kingdom.
Yeah, I was bringing down the smell of the sewers.
I mean, all the children started crying the second you appeared, Carl. I mean, it was such a lovely day before that. The flowers were growing in the sewage.
You say flowers, it's moss and mushrooms, isn't it?
I mean, these children don't know any better, Carl. They call them flowers. You've been there. You've been in their kingdom 5 seconds. You've already started thinking up the joint, and now you're telling them that's not a flower.
These are crocodile children. These aren't just random orphans that have run away from you.
This is a kingdom of crocodile men, crocodile children, crocodile women, crocodile dogs.
And you can tell the difference between the men and the women because the women have like the red lipstick on.
And they have crocodile boobs.
Yeah, and big eyelashes.
Anyway, yeah, you've been there a few seconds, Carl, and you've pretty much destroyed their civilization. Most of them, only the wise elders knew of the outside world. The little children, they believed that their world was all there was. And you arrived, this weird, mysterious, smelly, ugly, disgusting, hideous, disfigured, monstrous, just all-round horrible person.
Okay. I think you might be unleashing some of your own feelings. I know you're trying to set the mood and everything, but I can't help but feeling you're bringing some of your own prejudices into this.
No, not at all, you moron. No,
sorry.
Shut up. It's my turn to talk now.
Oh, yes, I apologise. It must just be me. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, absolutely. God, I don't know what your problem, man.
Was that an insult, man?
I know, I ran out of insults. It's very difficult to be mean, Kyle. Maybe I should go visit Kelly and get some tips.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, you are in their kingdom. You've ruined their illusions. You've destroyed their dreams. You've smashed into their flowers. You've told them they're not really flowers. You just all round ruined their society. And the wise ancient one, Derek, decrees that you must be punished.
Punished?
Absolutely. You've committed a grave crime to their kingdom. And they give you an option. They give you not 3, not 6, not 8,231, but 2 options for a punishment.
2?
I know, it's so, God, how would you even predict that? What are the chances? What are the chances every week we come into situations where there are 2 possible outcomes?
Yeah, it's almost as if it's predetermined.
Exactly, but it's not. It's just life. That's just the way it is. They have decreed that you must be punished, and they give you the 2 options for punishment. You work in the somewhat horrible, icky thing's mines, mining for the aforementioned substance, just chipping away at the big rocks of those things, breaking them up, breathing in the fumes, throwing them into a furnace so they're burning them, digging away at them, jackhammering away at them, doing other stuff.
I'm a type of shoveler, if you will.
Exactly. You are shoveling that stuff. So you're working there, and this is the rest of your life, Carl. You will be working in those mines forever. Or you will be swallowed whole by the big old crocodile, appropriately named Tiny, and would live out the rest of your days inside his surprisingly spacious stomach. He's bigger than the rest of the crocodiles. He's like
the Goliath.
He is the Goliath, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he is used exclusively for punishments, and back in he sits in a big old chair, this giant stomach. He's a bit lazy, he can't even be bothered to chew, so he just eats things whole and lets them go through his digestive system.
He's sort of like the Jabba the Hutt of crocodiles.
Exactly.
Yeah. But big enough that you could live inside of his stomach.
Exactly. Big enough really that you could fit a couple of chairs, a TV. You don't have any of those things. I just said you could fit them if you had them. He has eaten, people throw all kind of things down the toilet. So there is a old Game Boy Advance. It is half melted in his stomach acid. And his stomach is big enough, the acid fills the bottom of it, but you're floating on a chair that he just happened to eat just above the acid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So in one scenario, you are mining away in this smelly, dark, wet, damp, sticky place. Guards constantly watching you. If you stop working for a single second, they will whip you and they will shout at you and they'll say. They'll tell you they don't like your hair.
So it's basically like being in a relationship with Kelly, then.
You're basically in a mine filled with Kellys,
but with none of the benefits.
None of the benefits, exactly. A couple of the guards are the women crocodiles with those, lovely, bouncy crocodile boobs. But other than that, there is absolutely no benefits whatsoever. And then you live out the rest of your life inside a giant, spacious stomach, and you're not, there's no guards down there. You're not being attacked by anyone. You're not forced to do any labor. But you are in this horrible, boiling hot substance. Every now and then the stomach acid will rise a little bit, burn your feet off. You're kind of being cooked alive from the inside. Every now and then you have to eat whatever remnants of food are left inside of his stomach that are half eaten, half melted.
And in either scenario, there's no way to escape.
No, there is absolutely no way to escape.
So leaving through the crocodile is not an option, and leaving the sewers, I'm guessing they're going to have crocodiles on me constantly, 24 hours a day.
Exactly. There's crocodiles everywhere.
I'm chained to the ground.
As we all know, crocodiles are geniuses, so they have advanced technology, electric whips, and force field generators. They're all flying around on jetpacks. All their technology is powered by shit. It's then, again, why they want you to mine for it. It's powering all their cities.
Okay, so one scenario, I'm basically in servitude to crocodiles for the rest of my life. Another scenario, I'm in a giant crocodile's stomach with no room for escape, but I don't have to do things for evil overlords.
You don't have to do things for anyone. You are completely alone, apart from any other prisoners that get thrown into the crocodile's stomach, but you've taken the only chair, you arsehole. So every other prisoner that goes in falls directly into the stomach acid and starts melting alive.
So the only conversations I could have will be very brief.
Very brief, and honestly...
with a lot of screaming.
Yeah, exactly. Most of them aren't interested in having the kind of conversations you want to have. You know, they fall in going, oh my god, a giant crocodile! Ah! And you're like, oh hey, what was, you see the game last night, even though you haven't seen the game last night? And like, no, I'm dying!
I would get sort of irritated. I'd be like, yeah, I've had this conversation before. Can we maybe talk about something else? Yes, I know you're burning to death. I know. But maybe we could talk about art or philosophy or...
Oh, it's all you guys are the same. It's all about you. None of you have asked me how I am while you're burning to death in acid.
Just inconsiderateness.
Inconsiderateness. You're right, Carl.
So if I'm not sitting on a chair in a crocodile's stomach, if I took the other option, if I was in servitude to these crocodiles, shoveling...
You get maybe 10 minutes of sleep a night, but as you rest your head into the rock, let's generously call it a rock face.
Do I get fed?
I mean, they have to keep you fed to keep you alive because they want you there forever, Kyle. They don't want you to die before you've shoveled enough for them to power their crocodile casino.
So they're casino owners.
I mean, they're a thriving community, Kyle. Don't be crocodilist, assuming that crocodiles just live in sewers in a kingdom made of shit. I mean, God, that's so stereotypical of crocodiles.
So yeah, they're entrepreneurs. Is there any chance I could make a deal with them? Tell them how good a card dealer I am, how good at shuffling I am.
The leader of there's the wise old one, but he's not really the leader. He's just like an advisor. The leader is a president, Ronald Crunch, the president of the Crocodile Kingdom, who's a business tycoon. Well, he says he's a business tycoon. He's not that good at business, to be honest, but no one dares tell him.
Isn't he one of those big orange crocodiles?
He is, yeah. You have, unique looking and...
yeah, I know the one you mean.
He went bald early and he wasn't really happy with it, so he just stuck anything that fell down the toilet onto his head. So, someone flushed a gerbil down the toilet and he just stuck it on there. But he's the leader and he is very susceptible to flattery. You tell him he's brilliant, you tell him his hair is beautiful and not at all dead gerbil-like, and he might go easy on you, but at the same time, he really enjoys all the service you get from your ship mining. He loves miners. He loves miners so much, even though that mining is destroying his society. To be honest, the shit furnace isn't good for the environment. Surprisingly, who would have thought throwing shit into a furnace isn't great? Not me.
I don't think I could be in servitude to someone for my entire life. I feel like...
You think you would prefer to be alone in a stomach filled with boiling hot acid, constantly seeing people die, never being able to have a conversation, having to quickly grab a piece of food as it falls down the stomach. Your life in that stomach is not going to last anywhere near as long as your servitude. Eventually, that stomach acid will melt through the chair, catch up to you, and I mean, like I said, your feet have already burnt off at this point. Within maybe 2 months, half your body will be gone. By the end of the year, you'll just be a head.
I mean, that's long enough to write my memoirs.
At the end, you will have to write your memoirs with the pen in your teeth.
I mean, like everyone in the modern day, I still have my phone on me when I get swallowed. So I can be...
No, Carl. You, like everyone in the modern day, you have a quill and a notepad. You have a quill and a scroll.
So I can be writing down my memoirs, which I can then somehow see. If I had a phone, I could have just, put it online, and everyone would have seen the thoughts of a dying man in a crocodile's stomach. It would be a bestseller.
I mean, imagine how upsetting it would be to get no views of that, or have someone send a nasty comment. You're like, well, this is my final message to the world. I just want to let you all know that I love you all so much, and it was such a beautiful world. It's like someone just types underneath, gay. But yeah, your memoirs are immaculate. They're beautiful. They're poetic, and
they would be preserved.
You throw them up through the crocodile's mouth, and it flies out of the mouth, bounces out of the sewers, ricochets off the walls, and all the way out of the sewers again. Because when they come to the street where the manhole was, they're cleaning them again. And they just happen to move that manhole when the scroll bounces up into the sky.
And my carrier pigeon just swoops down, grabs my memoirs, and flies it to my publisher. So at least I'll have a best-selling novel. So I think that's the way I'm going to go, rather than...
I mean, best-selling, Kyle.
Have you ever read a memoir of a guy living inside of a crocodile's stomach? Like actually living inside.
Oh, all the time, Carl. I'm kind of dull. It's kind of bored, to be honest. I've heard that story so many times. I don't think you need a selling point, Kyle, to get this popping. Something original, something catchy.
Oh, I was also wearing a sweater.
Oh, now you're talking, Kyle. Oh, now you've really brought some sex appeal to this book.
There you go. So yeah, I'm going to, if you ever get in this position, the crazy position that I got myself into.
If you're ever eaten by Tiny, the crocodile of the Crocodile Man community, make sure you have a paper, you have a quill and scroll with you to write down your memoirs.
I mean, that's just good advice in general. Always carry around a quill and papers.
So you think that's your decision, Carl? You don't want to work in the mines forever. You would rather live maybe a year in the giant stomach of a crocodile.
I would live as long as I could. Try and survive off of the apples and bones that he swallows, and if he swallows a human who is already dead, maybe I could pull off an arm. And
coincidentally, Kyle, you find your sea monkeys in the stomach of the crocodile, perfectly preserved, and you have to eat them to survive.
But they've grown to quite a large size now.
They've grown to sea orangutans.
So they're huge now. So I can survive off them for possibly a few years. I mean, I can use their bones to build my chair up a bit and make the legs a bit sturdier.
Yeah, I mean, there was that one that you, you had them when you were a child, when you were an 8-year-old child. You wrote on its side in pen, "Kyle's best friend forever," and now you're eating it alive.
Chewing on his leg.
Just taking a big old bite out of his head.
I'm going to live out the rest of my short life, I guess, inside this crocodile's stomach, Tiny's stomach.
Well, I'm glad you've still got good internet in there, Carl, so we can continue the podcast for another year.
We'll continue for at least another year, unless I can find a way to escape.
And then I'll have to I'll then have to breach the portal to hell and just communicate with you from beyond the grave. That's clearly the only option.
Only option.
Exactly. I mean, I could save your life, but that requires me getting up off of this settee, and I've just ate, Kyle. I can't be bothered.
The thing is, Betty keeps bringing you cookies every time you think, "Oh, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go and do this big rescue mission to
She
break."
keeps telling me I should go because she's so nice and lovely, but she's not judgmental either.
No.
She's like, "You really should help him, Nathan." I don't want to. "Oh, okay, if that's your decision, I support you no matter what."
And your house is really warm because she puts the heat. She lets you have the heating on as long as you want, and she pays for it.
Always smells of cookies.
Oh, cookies and cakes and biscuits. And she's
always classical. She's playing the piano in the corner. She's a musical genius, Kyle.
Oh,
I wish you could see it. I wish you weren't being burnt alive in acid. I really do, but just not enough to do anything about it. But, other than that, I'm feeling quite bad for you.
So you're going to live out... for a change, you've got the good ending and I've got the bad ending this week. It's usually the other way round, so I guess...
That is true. You usually have the best endings. You get to marry yourself in Frankenstein's body. You get to live with a bunch of arse people.
The best life ever.
Isn't that the name of your memoirs?
The best life ever, yeah.
A Kyle story.
A Kyle memoir.
Ooh, a Kyle Benoit.
Yes, Kyle Bennett's memoir, The Kyle Benoit. Perfect. I'll live out the rest of my life in a crocodile's stomach.
And I will live out the rest of my life with the nicest woman in the world, baking me cookies, playing music, and we're just reciting poetry to each other.
And somehow those were the correct answers.
I mean, I think it's all worked out just right, Kyle, honestly.
I beg to differ.
I mean, how can you say that, Kyle? You monster. You know how happy I am, and that should make you happy.
Your happiness is all that matters in this world, and that's what everyone should...
Exactly. That's what I've been telling you since the second we met.
It's like everyone at home you should think, do my actions make Nathan happy? If not, why are you doing them? But if you do disagree with anything we've said today, then let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this episode, then please follow and subscribe to the podcast on Patreon. You can find the Patreon at patreon.com/ifyouhadto, though.
And we'll put up a link to Kyle's memoirs and his tribute page.
Yeah, my memoirs do end mid-sentence, but...
Oh, what a perfect ending line to end your memoirs on. And that was the story of Kyle. I like ham.
I don't like ham.
Well, that's the final words then, Kyle. Chapter 12 of the Kyle Benoits. I don't like ham.
I was in the supermarket perusing sandwich fillings. There was ham. I don't much like ham. That's how the book ends.
And I happened to walk past a spam aisle where a man looked suspiciously aroused.
He was looking at the spam with lust in his eyes. I was very confused.
And then I looked at the ham, which I just don't like.
And there it ends.
Well, it's not even the end, it just ends.
Yeah, the pen sort of scratches down the page as if I was torn away from it by burning acid. You can follow me on Twitter at Kyle M. Bennett. That's Kyle_M_Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's.
And you can follow me on Twitter at N Wozniak Art, which is N for Nathan, and WOZNIAK Art. And if you want to, you can also follow my Instagram account. If you're a fan of terrible art posted very infrequently, then please follow my account at Nathan Wozniak.
This has been If You Had To, though. I've been Kyle.
And I've been the man formerly known as Nathan. Dun, 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 dun.